Hey, what's up guys, it's Shawzo here, and this is County Crossing, and this place definitely needed an upgrade. When I first stumbled across this location, there was only a couple of settlers and they were living in this tiny shack. So of course I've lent a hand and fixed up what I could, and I've even built an entire new building from scratch. If you're here for inspiration or if you want to copy along the build, I'm going to show you how I built the place with a nice tour at the end. I hope you guys enjoy. Having a look at the settlement from afar, it's not actually that big, and in terms of security, anyone could come at any direction at any time. So what I'm going to do is wall off the place, and I'm going to have my entrance here right next to the pole, because I've noticed a natural pathway going up to the gardens there. Now I'm going to get myself a warehouse wall using the pillar glitch as always, and I'm going to put it right against the pole because I feel like that's a good starting point, and I do want that with my entrance. I'm going to finish off the rest of the walls, keeping all of them right up tight against where the green line is, because that's a good marker point to keep everything straight. And after some hard work and dedication, it's finally finished. As you can see, it's dead straight, and that's because I did use that green holographic wall going all the way around. It's really handy for that. Having a look at the entrance, I think that pole goes really well with it in my opinion, and I've also gone ahead and just decorated the place as well. Also, I just want to mention there's this large pond area that's kind of half in the settlement, so I'm definitely going to take advantage of that, putting some purified water machines later on. But as you can see, I've purposely used the broken walls just to have that kind of realistic look. I've also decorated inside the walls as well, but unfortunately I can't do the outside because it's right up against the out of bounds line. So now it's time to do some bits and pieces within the walls, and yes, they do have a large farm area, and I'm actually going to get rid of it because I want to build an entire new building from scratch. But don't worry, the garden will come back, just in a different area, and of course I'm going to take advantage of the natural pathways after we've done the building. Right now that's all tidied up, I'm going to start putting down some foundations. I'm going to put it right in the corner where these bushes are, and I'm going to go 4 across, and then I'm going to go 7 down. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because there's not really many buildings in this settlement, and this is a flat area with not a lot of bushes, so it's the perfect spot for a big building really. And I've used the barn foundations because you can actually sink a pillar into it, and that'll be so handy for decorations later. And whilst the pillar's here, we might as well use it to adjust the whole thing, just to keep it straight. Now let's have a quick look at the adjustments. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It looks dead straight along with the junk walls there, and you can just tell it's a perfect spot for a big building. Now it's time to do something simple, just going to chuck a load of walls on. Of course, I always love changing them up. I especially like using this particular one with the blue paint. Always adds some colour into it. I'm now going to go ahead and finish off the walls, so I'll see you guys in a second. I've just finished up. I've left a couple of gaps for some entrances though. But now it's time to do the second floor, and I'm going to be using these shack floors because they're nice and thick and they do fill up all the gaps. And now it's time to do a stairwell, and I'm going to do it bang in the middle here. And we're going to use the shack staircase because it's perfect for it really. Right, now we're seeing progress. I've purposely made a massive entrance because it goes so well with our first entrance where the junk walls are. And where the other entrance is on the other side, it goes really well with the natural path in there, so I'm looking forward to tidying that up later. Now I'm going to do something on top that I did similar with the slog. Now I don't want to just make a huge box. There is ways of kind of giving it a curvature. So I'm going to jump into the Contraptions DLC items, and I'm going to put down these floors because these will allow me to put some ramps up, and you'll see in just a second. These actually clip into the walls that I've put down. It just gives the building more of a curvature look to it instead of like a boxy feel, you know. I've just finished up on the other side, but now I want to put some half walls in, but unfortunately this floor is in the way. But it's an easy fix, we'll just move it aside and pop it in. Now I did say this is quite a similar build to the slog, but there is a slight difference. You can actually walk all the way around, but it's still very much the same style. It's just a little bit bigger, that's all, but I've got plenty of freedom to play around on the bottom floor, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to put one more level on top, and it's definitely going to be for security as it's high enough to look all the way around. Going to finish up on the rest of the walls, and I'm going to be using this particular one. Going to keep it the same on each side. And around the edges, I might as well put some barricades down. Again, going to chop and change them all the way around. I do think they're very much needed because of course security is going to be up here. Now with the barricades on the top floor, I'm going to be using the same one because I do like this particular one. As we already have the barricades out, we might as well start work on this pathway. So what I'm going to do is separate the grassy bits with this bald patch, so we have our own dedicated path leading up to the building. It's a bit of a tedious job because you've got to do them one by one, but it's so worth it. And as you can see, I've just finished up on it, and you can clearly see the difference with the grass and the natural pathway. It really does add new purpose to certain areas of the build. So let's have a quick look at our new building, and I am very pleased with it. Those ramps definitely give it its shape. I've also decorated it because it does save me some time. And overall, we have so much freedom on the bottom floor, and I can't wait to get into that. Having a look at the pathway again, you can clearly see there's loads of space to play around with. I might put a campfire there for some new settlers. So moving on to the other side, I've noticed this hump in the ground, and I'm going to use that as a foundation for a new watchtower next to the building. And I'm going to start by using this scaffolding set, and it's perfect because it's a frame ready for a big tall tower. But instead of actually building most of it, I'm going to be using this elevator to do most of the work for me, because it only makes sense. It just gets you onto the top floor, and we can put some scrappy bits on the outside. It's a very simple build, but it looks pretty cool to be fair. And we're going to put a ladder on the front, of course, where that hole is, and I can't snap it on the bottom, so I'm going to have to sink it in the ground. But for the rest of it, we're just going to fill in the bottom bit with some more warehouse scrappy walls, if this guy doesn't get in my way all the time. And I'm going to finish it off with some half walls. And where the edge of the hump is, I'm going to put these particular walls going all the way around, just for some extra defense. Can you get out my way, please? Right, with the bottom floor, I'm actually going to make use of it. I'm going to put a generator in there because why not? I don't think there's going to be easy access in there anyway. And to connect it to the elevator, of course, we're going to use the power pylon, and we're going to use the pillar glitch because if we hold A onto it, we can actually sink it in the ground with the cable attached. And yeah, you can sink it anywhere you want as long as it's close enough. So now that's finished, let's go up and test it out. As you can see, it brings me up so high, and this allows me to have a look across the whole settlement in all directions. So yes, a very good watchtower in my opinion. The only downside is you can't put furniture up here, but I feel like it's worth it. There's only one negative really. I'm now going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the natural pathway, so I'll see you in a second. And there we go, it always makes a difference, just gives everything purpose. And there was even a grassy bit in the middle there. I'm going to turn that into like a little green area. Now it's time to move on to this broken house, and yes, it is very much broken. It's not even a house anymore, to be honest. So I'm simply going to put down some free walls across, and we'll grab ourselves this trusty pillar, keeping a good distance from it so we can get it in there a bit. And this should fit in there nicely. There is a little sweet spot. It was quite difficult in my opinion, but it does eventually get in. Of course, I want to keep that old wood on the outside to make it look realistic. There we go, I'm happy with that. And we'll snap on some new stairs and some floors. And alongside it, we'll put on these little ones. Of course, this means that it's an awkward size, so it makes it difficult for the top floor. But we'll get into that in a second. We'll just finish off this side, because this is where the entrance is going to be. And of course, I'm using that scrappy entrance with the massive hole. Again, there should be another sweet spot here, keeping that old wood on the outside. And we'll just do some quick patchwork on the sides here. This window's in good condition, but I'm still going to put some pillars up. And that's the bottom half finished, and as we saw earlier, because of the flooring it makes it an awkward size. I don't think I'd want to put more walls on top because it would make it look really boxy. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a couple of platforms here right next to the staircase so we have more of a platform to get round. So if we go up, we're going to start doing something a little bit different to what you would expect. You can actually snap on a boxcar, lucky enough. If you're building this yourself, it may not work first time, but I feel like I'm just lucky enough for it to snap onto the warehouse wall there. Of course, I'm going to finish off with the barricades, so yeah, I'll see you in a second. And there we go, I've even decorated it as well, always saves me time, and I've even added that raider cloth just for some extra shelter. It's definitely going to be like a mechanical kind of workshop. But in general, that is the build finished. I am very, very happy with this. It took me a while to figure this one out, to be fair, but of course I've got many hours ahead of me to decorate the rest of it. I have saved myself a lot of time with the exterior bits though. But let's have a quick look inside the buildings just to know what it looks like before. And as you can see, it's massive. I will be doing the interior walls in here when I decorate the place. But yeah, there's so much to do and I can't wait to show you when I'm finished. Thanks for watching the build and I'll see you in the tour. And here it is, fully decorated. I'll be honest with you, I've forgotten how many hours it took me to decorate, but it's definitely in the 20+ range. This is a neutral settlement, but they do have a partnership with the Minutemen. So come on inside and we'll have a walk around. Hey, what's up guys, welcome to the tour. Now it is a neutral trading post in partnership with the Minutemen, so it's not completely owned by the Minutemen, they just take care of security and things like that. And talking about security, I've actually got turrets everywhere. So I've kept the trees, and the turrets are in the trees actually. I've managed to get a platform up there using the pillar glitch, and yeah, they're everywhere basically. And yeah, this is the front, County Crossing in partnership with the Minutemen. I've managed to squeeze in some decorations out here. It's very, very tight. I've done what I could. And yeah, I've done something similar with Sunshine's co-op with the mutt fruit. I haven't gone too mad this time. I've actually made use of a lot of space, but there were like a lot of areas where it's quite a bit of a mountain and a bit too bushy. Like you can't put crafting tables in bushes, can you? Because you can't really see what you're doing. But anyways, to my left is like a little campfire for new people coming in. I've sunk this bed with a sleeping bag, goes pretty well. Not really a lot to it really. Through here is my dedicated pathway. I love doing this. I think this is going to be like a usual thing that I do. If I spot any kind of natural path in any settlement, I'm going to do this. Round here is just some storage. I've put a wind turbine this time because I think it goes so well on top of the mutt fruit. But yeah, I haven't used a lot of mutt fruit. There is a lot of space to use. It kind of just adds colour. And of course it's our farm as well. And it makes sense because there was originally mutt fruit. So yeah, welcome to County Crossing, a Minutemen zone open for trade. And it's very kind of Minutemen kind of themed in a way. So to the right, that's my chair. We kind of interview people coming in. And I've gone for like a tidy look compared to my other settlements. A lot of my settlements are very untidy, so I've gone for more of a professional look on this one. To my left is the security checkpoint. Again, with the pillar, you can use it on the foundations here because they're barn foundations. So I've managed to sink this little security post in, along with loads of other stuff. So this is where people get checked out. They unload all their weapons and armor here, and then they can pass through really. Someone hasn't been behaving, so yeah, you know who that guy is from earlier. He annoyed me so much, I've chained him up now, so... I do like putting these weapon racks on the posters here because yeah, it adds the light to it. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, as I said, this is my first building completely from scratch, so I've really enjoyed doing this. It's been quite a challenge. To my left is a TV area. I've used the circle TV and kind of turned the desk around and made like a TV unit kind of thing. Cool little sofa. And yeah, near the entrances, oh, I didn't mention actually, I have actually opened up like the back as well, a little garden area within the mutt fruit.
Hope you ain't here for me.
So next to it I put some garden supplies and things like that. But we'll have a look at that out there last. This is a little kitchen area. I love using these drawers as like a little makeshift kind of kitchen set. It does work. Yeah, it is a bit of a pain placing these items individually. I do scream at the TV sometimes, but the satisfaction I get when it's finished. Like, I know some of you say you don't mind me using the OC decorator mod. I don't know, it hurts my ego a bit if I use that, I'm not going to lie. Right, so to the left, some more Minutemen kind of theme stuff. Very tidy corridor, just some big pictures with some plants. That leads upstairs to security. We'll look at that last. This is more of a sort of bedroom area. What we just saw was more of a living area. And of course you've got a security checkpoint as well. This particular room, they just make coffees and things like that. This is my bedroom in here. Got my own massive desk. Lots of bits and pieces. I've kind of mixed it up a bit. Just food, chems and so on. Yeah, I like this little room. And around here is another bedroom, along with like a crafting table and just like a junk for the junk on the shelf here. So yeah, not too untidy. There's not much of a mess. I'm quite happy with it. I wanted to go for more, as I said, I wanted to go more for a professional look, you know. I think it's worked out pretty well. This is a garden area. So apart from mutt fruit, we've got some potatoes out here with some corn, a little cooking station as well. And because it's really bushy there, I've kind of put some junk there just to block it off to make it its own area. And we might as well have a look on that side. And I didn't really know what to do with this, really. I did want to open up the mutt fruit a bit more just to make use of as much space as I could because it's not that bushy in this particular area. It is here though, so I've just put some more junky bits. But yeah, I've just made it look like a functioning kind of garden area. Got a bin for the spades and that. Very bushy in this kind of side of things, so I've kind of barricaded it and put some green stuff down there. Got a panorama workshop in this corner. Goes pretty well. So yeah, it's not all about gardening. So yeah, there's a few American flags, a few Minutemen flags, because yeah, it's a neutral base. So yeah, let's have a look at the security. And I filled up the staircase because why not? I always love putting like storage bits and pieces. And up here is entirely about security actually. So this is their little kind of lunch room. Put a big old table. Some workshops as well. Behind me is a gym. That's moving on its own for some reason. We've got a panorama display here. I've made it look like we've kind of painted the flames on it with the red paint here. Just another little narrative that I love putting in. A little bit more messy up here to be fair. And we'll have a little walk around. There you can see the front as well. And yeah, just odd bits and pieces like tables, boxes, big guns. Trying to keep it all different. I never like to like duplicate any items too much, especially like signs and things like that. And I've even managed to put stuff underneath the ramps as well. We'll have a look on the top floor. And yeah, there's less stuff up here because yeah, you don't need much. We've got a fat man up there. And to be honest, do we really need that watchtower? I feel like this is high enough. Yeah, you can see everywhere. It's not a bad little security post. Right, let's go and see the rest. That's the main building. So this is the entrance to, of course, the rest of it. Flows really nicely down here with the mutt fruit side by side. We won't go up the watchtower because you guys have seen that. Yeah, it's just an elevator that goes up in it.
Hi, how are you?
So I've turned their old shack into a doctor's shop because I don't know, I just thought it'd be a good idea and it's worked out pretty well. So we've got chems for sale, stim packs, buff out, and more, just generally everything. It's quite a tight space to be honest. I've managed to fit a bench, like a little waiting room. I've managed to put a counter in here, the shop counter. And I've managed to squeeze this in as well. I'm really happy I've managed to squeeze that in.
If you need fixing up, let's get a look at you.
I've even like dressed them up as well.
Gonna pass.
Let me know if that.
But yeah, I'm alright. I don't need fixing up yet. To my right is just some storage areas, crafting table. This is like a side bit for the doctor to work on chems and things like that. A little bit scrappy. But yeah, he sleeps in the main building.
Ain't looking for trouble, I hope.
And as I said, I turned this into like a little greeny area because it's quite a grassy patch. It's really weird how the natural pathing goes around in this settlement. I had to open up this barricade area here because you do get traders come through and they do sit up against that barricade, so I had to remove it. But I added some greenery just to blend it in a bit. And yeah, I love this house. There's probably a bit too much going on to be honest. I did heavily decorate it, but my god does it scream scrappiness. Even if I could have built a wall going around the top, I don't think I would because it would look way too boxy. I think it looks good like that. Yeah, I can't wait to show you. Yeah, we might as well go around now. Junkie table in the middle as always, love doing that. And yeah, this is more of this is the mechanics shop. Well, it's not a shop. We don't sell things in this building. They're just working on things really. And yeah, this is one of them. Even dressed her up accordingly. And it's really bushy around here, but I've had to make do with what I've got. And of course I've put some big purifiers down because you need to make use of that water. You might as well. Put this table with some buckets just to make it look like we're using the hose there. Yeah, let's have a look inside. So I thought I might as well put like that robotic workshop down. And because there's dirt patches in there, I managed to sink it underneath the wood. So yeah, you can't see the base of it. So it blends in really well. Yeah, very messy this house because like, there's just crap everywhere. But I feel like every mechanic's workshop is messy, so I think it goes with the vibe, you know. And yeah, that platform helps getting up. This is the living area for the mechanics. Not too much. And around here is their bedrooms. I managed to squeeze 2 beds in here, but yeah, it's like a cute little mechanic's bedroom. I like it. So yeah, as I said, turrets absolutely everywhere. I've kept all the trees because I feel like a settlement looks really bland without trees. Yeah, I feel like I've shown you everything. We might as well finish the video on top so we can basically see everything closer. Now, my next video, I would have been officially halfway through rebuilding the whole Commonwealth. So I would have built 15 settlements and there's 15 settlements left. That's excluding any DLCs. The DLC settlements I will be doing once I've fixed up the whole like Commonwealth, vanilla Commonwealth. So yeah, I've hit the halfway point and I am looking to have a little bit of a break over Christmas, probably like 1 to 2 months. So after my next video, that'll be my last video of the year and I'll probably be back late January. The only reason why I'm saying this is because all my free time has been YouTube for the past year. And my God, has it worked off. Like, we have 30,000 subscribers. The views I get is absolutely mad. It doesn't even balance with my subscriber count. Like, I'm getting more than I should. So I must be doing something right. But I am a little bit burnt out, I'm not going to lie. And I feel like the halfway point is a good point. Just have a little bit of a break. I'm not going anywhere. It's just for 1 or 2 months and I'll be back. So yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video, which will be the last video of the year. Make sure to follow the Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to share your settlements, I really do want to see them. Like a few of you are already posting stuff on them there, and it's really interesting to watch. And before I end the video, I might as well give you some night shots because it does look pretty cool. I feel like if you spread enough lanterns and candles around the place, it really gives it a cool vibe. And there were already some fire pits here and they give off this smoke effect. I'm not sure if the ones you put down do the same thing, but it does add atmosphere to the place. And putting up lights is no easy job. You need to do it in a way where it's nice and balanced with the lighting, and I feel like I've got it just right. Before I go, I just want to quickly mention, during my break I might chuck in a couple of live streams of other games in there. Stalker 2 is a game that I'm very much excited about, so yeah, you might see that. Let me know in the comments if you do want to see me live streaming other games. I'd really like to know. Anyways, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.